Welcome back to Force Syndication. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking about Camber Energy, going with the ticker CEI. Now in this video we're going to dive through due diligence. Technical analysis is main part of this one, and an update in terms of different volumes as well. Now again, what we're referring to here is another video, and I do understand I've been doing quite a lot of them. The Twitter polls have really broken this one again on CEI. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So Camber Energy. Now, in case some of you have never really seen this, there is actually a vlog part, and even including one on October 8th, and it's a really actually a good one to read. This one, October 8th, gives you a bit of an update on the latest things, including some of the current reports that were filed on September 22nd, as well as some even ones that they go ahead and describe some of the work that they've been really doing excitingly in the last week or so. And so this is kind of a mind gem that if you're not seeing it on PR, you're still able to see a lot of explanation from a CEO, and you don't see that every day. So that's definitely very exciting from my own perspective, as they're really trying to stay engaged with the CEO. Now, on the other part here is the institutional buyers. And another thing that I've kind of got my head around is this here says the institutional shares are only around 4.77% of the entire shares, and insiders own around 7.77%. If that is correct, that means almost 90% of this company is owned by retail. And if that is actually true, that's one of the biggest kind of chunks that I see that retail owns. Here, institutionals and insiders own only 5%, and it seems to be somewhat on the same page, that this is heavily owned by retail. And that on its own really can change the price movement of the stock, and manipulation becomes a little bit lower from an institutional level. Now, in terms of the short interest itself, there's around 0.04 days left to cover for the short sellers, and the dark pool volume is somewhere around 55%. Today's volume has been a little bit lower at around 231 million shares. So it's not massively as we've seen before, but take a look into the short shares availability. Currently, there's around 5.3 million shares available for short selling at only a short borrow fee of around 12.78. So it is low, and it's definitely it's really interesting to see that much shares being available for short selling and borrowing for short selling. Now, in terms of the total volumes, at any given day, around 50% of that or even higher is going towards the short volume side, and that on its own is interesting. Before I even move forward, a lot of you amazing folks watch my previous videos, but only a small percentage of you click the subscribe button. So if you're here coming back, welcome back, and make sure to click that subscribe button and leaving notifications on for this channel. Also, don't forget to drop a like to this video, and if you'd like to go one step further and connect with us more, you can join our chat room in the Discord down in the description below. We're not trying to upsell you anything. Now, the big thing as well about the short selling report is that, as I mentioned before, we knew a lot of aspects about that short selling report, and the thing that mattered the most was that this is a momentum play rather than a fundamentals play, because we do understand how this is a little bit overvalued from the fundamentals perspective. Let's move on towards technical analysis and see where the momentum does lie with this one. From a technical analysis, what we're seeing here is that the moving averages are looking somewhat interesting. You got the 10 SMA being above the 30 EMA. That's bullish, and the 50 SMA being above the 200 SMA, which is bullish. These are moving average days. Now, within the 10 SMA, the green line, and the red line, the 30 EMA, which is 244 and 176, something here is called the trading action zone, where most positive reversals occur. And currently, we're very close to this. In fact, we're not that far off. We're only 163, 176. An easy small jump in fluctuation would get it into the trading action zone, and you can easily see a reversal onto that. Now, what we're seeing here on the William %R, which is very similar to the relative strength index, it shows that this one is highly oversold, meaning there's a lot of selling activities and buying. Now, with the MACD, even though that we've seen a bit of a bounce, momentum is still actually, in fact, increasingly going negative. So we might have to anticipate sometime later on this week where you might actually start seeing a positive reversal rather than in the next couple of days. Now, the best thing we can hope for right now is a bit of an accumulation for people to stop panic selling and compose themselves and do some extra research if they need to do. Now, in terms of momentum, that isn't on its own negative, not horribly negative, but 0.27 on the negative side, showcasing that there is some momentum going on with this drop. However, stochastic fast and stochastic slow both are suggesting you might actually start seeing a positive reversal coming in soon, and this is really in test with a very strong support I'll refer to in a minute. Now, in terms of the moving averages and the Bollinger Bands, all of them are going horizontal, showcasing that this might actually start accumulating soon. The accumulation points are anticipated between 232 on the top, 211 in the middle, and 190 in the bottom of the moving average bands. Now, in terms of the chart here, we're able to see a significant support level at the 140 on the Fibonacci retracements, and then resistances 206, 259, 312, and then 388 and 485. If we were to take a look just on price line actions, we're able to see that this very strong support we're referring to is in fact around the 140, and there's even a stronger one right above it, closer to the price point at 159. Below there, we're going down to the 119 and then 102 to be a very strong one, an incredible one at 85 cents and 65 cents. If it does break these, the only chance it has is a 53 cents. Other than that, you might easily see 33 cents. I mean, you might get some resistance of 44 in terms of the support, but it really is at this point, really every cent counts. Now, in terms of resistances, there is a hard resistance to break, the 172. Even harder one at the 183 that it rejected today. It tried, but it really failed. Attached to the 183, 190 is very close to that. And in terms of the resistance, we're able to see a close point at 226 and above there around 263, around 286, and 323, around 354, 365, and above there, we're going on to the $4. Now it comes to the question, Ed, what do you think about this one? And the biggest issue with this one is a momentum issue. Now, this at this point is starting to even look like a head and shoulder, maybe an inverse cup with a handle, and it really suggests it might drop and accumulate as the best case scenario. But really, if we get some news, some good news, really any kind of good news in PR, this one might actually spring upwards. Now, the retail that's been pushing it seems to be, or the influencers, quote unquote, seems to be directing their energy into other stocks. But remember, below $1, this one is a bit in trouble, as we've hit already $1 before around the 6th of October, and it can really wipe up a lot of the gains it has come around. I think going on in retail today, seeing 90 cents to be a critical point, but really this is becoming in a risky movement. And as you get to see, volumes have really dropped significantly. And the last time volumes dropped this significantly, the next day it was hit by a short selling attack, and you might have the same thing happen. So you got to be very vigilant and watch in on the movement. But overall, it's again a momentum play that is a little bit cooling down. But what do you think is going to happen next? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. If I missed any piece of news that you think is very interesting, mention it down in the comments below and I'll give you credits on it in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.